けど、クラウドに保存すると便利な点が多いんだね。そうなんだよ。
We are currently living in an era where we are seeing a huge development in so many technology around us. Technologies such as robotics, AI, or Internet of Things, they are coming and taking like a lot of jobs around us. Even though like those technology are taking so many jobs, especially low skilled jobs, but actually it's providing new type of jobs in the job market. But actually this new type of jobs are required very high skills, not like previous jobs. So how actually we can prepare the workforce to take on these kind of new jobs in the job market? Hello everyone, this is Ayman Omar, and today I'm going to talk about the collaboration mechanism for like improving the workforce and prepare them for the post fourth industrial revolution era. We have discussed in our last meeting that new technologies are taking so many jobs and making a huge impact in the job market. So we are seeing that so many low skilled jobs are being disappeared and taken by new technologies such as robots and AI. But actually there are new type of jobs are entering into the job market. Those new jobs actually require much higher skills compared to the previous jobs in the job market. And we know like the importance of education in order to prepare the workforce to take this kind of new jobs and be adaptive to the change in the job market. You can check the previous video to know more details about what I have discussed earlier in that report. We are currently living in such critical era where we are seeing that technologies is developing very fast. So actually the fourth industrial revolution is a little bit different from previous industrial revolution, because actually the development is not linear, it's not going linear, not like previous industrial revolution. So it's very difficult to predict the future. So like if we cannot prepare the workforce to take on this kind of new development and adapt to the new change in the job market, we might reach to a point where we are seeing a lot of like unemployment, and actually there are a lot of jobs available, but we cannot find the suitable candidate to fill up those jobs. So how actually we can move through this era we are living on? Actually the development is happening right now is not being controlled by one party, or there is one player in the market or in the economy right now. There are so many parties, so many companies, so many researchers, people are developing new technology. Each company is actually developing based on their best interests. Even countries, they are improving and helping the development is in technology in some area based on their own interests. So in order maybe to reach to much better, I can say like a much better situation can satisfy most of the people, we need a lot of collaboration. There have to be like so many sides involved in order to move through this critical point in history. So actually I believe that there are three main parties that they have to take a very important role. The first one is the government and national institute. So government mostly they make strategic plan to develop the country in terms of the economy and the industry. So we are seeing that government sometimes they make long vision to the future, sometimes for the next 10 years, 20 years, even like 50 years. So mostly like companies they have to, of course, like to research what is the requirement for their country based on their situation, and mostly like they make plan for the future to develop the industry based on the country's situation. If the country is focusing on the development of the industry, of course they make plan to develop the industry. If it's like they rely on agriculture, so they make plan to develop the agriculture. The second part is educational sector. Mostly there's include universities, research center, and like technical institute. So mostly those, like, they have to prepare, of course, the next generation with the required skills and knowledge to take on the new type of jobs. The third part, which is like taking the very important role in this development, which is the private institute, private companies, and small and medium enterprises. Those actually they are the one who are doing the whole development and moving on the economy, because most the economy's activities is run by those companies. So how actually those three parties could cooperate? Mostly government, as they say, they make the plans. So actually they, of course, they give the instruction for those universities to actually develop educational plan based on to fulfill those kind of long-term vision. So mostly like universities, sometimes they require on the government to fund their research and also their educational needs, also prepare all the curriculum and also the laboratories to educate and train those students so they could be ready for the development that's happening or the future needs. And also of course for companies, because they are going to develop the new technology that is going to be used. Mostly developing new technologies required a lot of investment and required a long-term vision. That's why when those companies, they could see what is actually the country vision to the future, they could develop technology based on those to fulfill those vision. Of course, government with their vision, sometimes they could provide financial loan for those companies, or also investment, or sometimes subsidies, grant for those companies, especially small companies. They can develop new technology based on the grant that they could get and help and support that they can get from the government. And also, of course, the cooperation between the industry and university is considered to be an important a factor in developing the future needs. So mostly when the university, they know what the industry requirements, they could of course develop the educational curriculum and also give the requirement knowledge and skills for their students so they could fit to the jobs in the market. And also companies, they have to provide those universities with some kind of course with the equipment and technology that is available on the industry. So mostly robotics companies, sometimes they have to develop the type of technology that is going to be available in the industry. Also, they can provide them with the software and program is being used in the industry, so students, they could get ready and get prepared for what is requirement in the industry. And we don't forget also those companies, they have to provide technical training for students, especially in kind of internship programs for those students before they can enter to the job market. They can get some training on those companies. So we can see how actually we could have this kind of collaboration between the three parties. So no one could work isolated. They have to work together in order to fulfill the requirement and move on to the new future where we can get much better situation for all the workforce and all the people and all the parties. So do you think we can move on to much better future? So I hope you have benefit from today's talk. So until I see you again, thank you for watching.